Yes, hi everyone, and welcome to this Heart to Heart Hangout. Today is International Women's Day, the 8th of March, and we're celebrating it here online with three fabulous, inspiring women. My name is Nicky de Koning, and I'm really excited and honored to be able to do the moderation today and introduce these three women to you. Annette Grunfeld, Kim Wilburn, and Ramya are here already waiting, so I will keep this introduction short. I have to say I'm really nervous, so please forgive me at any time I lose track or if I'm shaky. Anyway, so I am especially really honored to organize this call because I co-organized this event for Passion of Hearts, and because of that, all these three women have at some point played a significant part in my life as well. So I'm really looking forward to seeing these three women interact with each other from heart to heart. I'm going to show you a slide now, and on this slide you can see what you can look forward to in this call. It's taking a little bit of time to share my screen, so just 1 second. Let me see. Yes. Right, so all right, this is the slide. Thank you for waiting. It's a little bit slow, but I'm just going to start telling you what you can expect. All right, here it is. Oh, the color really changed. I don't know if you also see a really bright purple color. If you do, I'm sorry. At least you can still read the text. It starts with, after my introduction of these three women, we're going to start with a beautiful feminine embodiment meditation by Ramya. We're then going to continue with a live Q&A session. Sorry, a normal Q&A session where these three women will be answering all the questions that you might have been sending in beforehand. After that, Kim Wilburn is going to do a guided meditation to connect to the goddess, continued by a live Q&A session where, if you look on the right-hand side of this call, you see a chat box. There you can enter any question that you might have that might pop in during this call. And yeah, you can just write it there, and these three women will be answering these questions. Then we're going to end this heart-to-heart hangout with a meditation by Annette Grunfeld, which is a song meditation, and that is also something to look forward to. I'm just going to go back to the hangout again. Let me see. I hope this went well, and I hope that you can see me again. Either way, I'm just going to continue introducing these women to you. Starting in alphabetical order with Annette Grunfeld. Annette is a beautiful singer. She is an energy healer for reconnective therapy, as well as a teacher for Alexander Technique. She lives in Santa Fe, New Mexico, where she has a practice in which she combines all of her talents, and that's called Healing Through Alignment. She gives long-distance healings and also travels international for concerts and workshops. What Annette says about women in our time is that training ourselves to trust our intuition, strengthening our inherent abilities through in-depth study, and learning to love are the combination essential for women at this time. My personal connection with Annette is that I worked, or actually lived, in Santa Fe with Annette as a summer au pair more than 10 years ago. Time goes way too fast. And Annette really introduced me to Santa Fe, not just in a touristic way, but also in a spiritual way. And she shared her inspiration and wisdom along the way. If you would like to learn more about Annette, you can visit her website, healingthroughalignment.com, where you can also find out how to work with her and how to order her beautiful CD, Songs to the Goddesses. Our next goddess is Kim Wilburn. She is a transformation coach, and since 1994, she has been working with couples, individuals, and businesses. She lives in the San Francisco Bay Area and works from there, but she also has a global reach because she regularly organizes telesummits, and she also has one coming up. I have to check the name, Guardian Spirits of Nature. You can read more about that on her website, which I will be telling you in a few seconds. What Kim writes in her bio about her purpose and passion is to help people connect to their true selves and express their soul purpose by working with high vibrational guardian beings. My personal experience with Kim was 2 years ago when I was thinking of changing my job and starting my own company. And I had a few online sessions with Kim, which were really fun. And Kim really coached in an intuitive and warm and also creative way. You can learn more about Kim and how to participate in her upcoming telesummits at guardiangateway.com. And that link should also be popping up on your screen at some time. And then last but not least is Ramya Norell. Ramya is an inspiring facilitator for spiritual self-development. She lives in France but travels internationally, not just privately or to study, but also for work. She organizes and leads different forms of her work, such as workshops, women's retreats, tantric gatherings, all creating a sacred space, as well as private sessions for couples and individuals. Ramya has a deep, loving heart and a laser-sharp focus, and she writes about her passion and her purpose, that it is to inspire people to unleash their full potential and live from their inner passion and hearts. My personal experience with Ramya, I find it really hard to describe in just a few words, because since 1.5 years ago that I met Ramya and experienced her work, changed me in so many ways, and I'm just deeply grateful. And having said that, now I'm going to hand over this virtual screen to Ramya for her beautiful feminine embodiment meditation.
Thank you, Nicky, for this introduction and for inviting us all to be here. I'm really grateful to be here with the three of you and with all of you who are out there. I heard we have something like 70 women joining us tonight. So I'd like to invite you to actually close your eyes and settle your body comfortably, taking some few, or not just a few, but taking some deep, soft breaths into your body. So just sitting comfortably. I'm gonna also sit my body comfortable. And as you are feeling your body settling in together with the breath, inviting these deep, soft breaths. And this means you slow down also your breathing rhythm. You can count slowly to 4 on your in-breath, count slowly to 4 on your out-breath, and there you go. Allowing now your attention to travel into your feet. Imagining that your feet has breathing holes, and you allow the in-breath to go through the breathing holes of your feet into the legs and into your pelvis, where the in-breath lands in your womb space. If you want, you can put a hand there where the breath goes, and from your womb you can breathe out back into to the legs and back into the earth. So we now also visualize that we are breathing in the energy of Mother Earth through our feet, all the way up through the legs and into the womb. And again, breathing out from the womb, through the legs, through the feet, into the body of Mother Earth. Allowing this to happen a few times more in your own rhythm. You can let the mouth just drop on your out breath and allowing a soft sound from your womb as you breathe out and back into the earth. Ah. 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 And then you let the breath simply travel directly in and out of your womb, imagining that the womb now can breathe. Connecting with the womb is a way for woman to center yourself, to fall into that deep space of creativity, of life force, of relaxation and rejuvenation. So as you breathe, allowing this breath all the way down, in and out of your womb, in and out of your womb. Landing here. And then you can let the tone of O vibrate, a toning of O in your own rhythm, just letting that vibrate out from your womb, connecting you even deeper as we tone together. And feeling the vibration inside of your womb, and then letting that vibration start to rise within you, directing your attention now into your heart. You can let the hand travel and pause itself on your heart, and we allow the breath to enter our next temple, the heart space, entering and exiting, connecting yourself with all the hearts on this call. So breathing into the individual heart and breathing out to all the other hearts on this call. If you want a soft sound on your out breath, the heart of love, the heart of wisdom, the heart that knows who you are, the heart that holds your innocence and your essence. Breathing into that and breathing out, connecting now with the collective heart, the universal heart on your next out breath. And here we also let a 3 times toning of the tone Ah vibrate in your own rhythm. Ah, and breathing in to the vibration, to the space that the vibration opens to within your heart. And then letting the hand gently leave your heart, and now letting the hands softly rise to the sky, connecting with the universal light, shimmering golden light, visualizing it pouring into your hands, filling your hands with every breath. More and more light gathers into your hands. And you can even move the hands if you want with it, letting the fingers become like receptive antennas, welcoming this light, shimmering golden light into the hands. And you open the crown on the top of your head and you let the hands support the pouring of this light into the crown by bringing the hands to the crown and letting them be sweeping around the crown, using that golden light, letting it enter through the crown and visualizing it streaming all through the body. And then letting the hands of light, as the hands are moving, letting them move now with the hands of light, golden shimmering light all around your energy field, wherever you can reach. Spreading this light. And with this we can softly tone the tone of E. Three times. The toning in the hands and the energy field. One more time. And we will finish with that feeling, that light, vibration of sound and golden light now be given as a physical touch, like a goddess rinse on the physical body. And let this vibration of light and sound that is now in the silence is touching the beautiful body that is inhabited by a goddess, that is you. And you give this rinse from the top of your head, over your hair, the face and the throat, the breast, the chest, the belly. And you can gather more light if you feel you need to. Just giving it to this body of a goddess. Letting the hands go wherever they can reach on this physical body. Loving it, living it, and loving it. And then ending, pausing your hands wherever they will be. And with this, you can also take a few breaths. And whenever you're ready, open your eyes. Feeling yourself. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Ramya. Was that it? I just came in. I'm still relaxing.
Hello, Nikita.
Hi. I didn't want to interrupt. Just want to make sure. It was beautiful. Thank you. That was great. We're all embodied now, embodied as goddesses in our body. And I'm inviting all of you, the three of you, to continue with the Q&A session with the questions that were sent in, starting with Annette.
Yeah. So this is really a beautiful question. Somebody sent in asking, I always live in my head. Is there an easy way to connect with my heart? Kim, what would you suggest to this caller?
Well, I think that sometimes we're in our head because we're a little more connected to what we're afraid of than we are what we love. So always it's about returning to what you love and letting that fill you. And then my work is all about connecting to the guardian energies that are all around us. So whatever it is that you believe in, I think that each one of us comes in with a team. So connect to that team, ask for whatever help is around you, and ask that it connects you to your heart. What do you think about this question, Ramya?
I love your answer, and I also feel, we are so surrounded, and I like to also what you said about asking the guardians or the light workers around you to support you to come back and connect to the heart. But I also want to add that, the mind being what it is, it's not our enemy. It has its thoughts, it has its pace. And I think that it's also great to, let this mind do what it is and loving it, just being gentle. And one way that I like to address this question is that when I put the hands on my heart and I allow myself to breathe, I might close my eyes if I feel like, but just to have that breath, to enter my heart and really letting that breath sink in for a few breaths, and even I like to use the words I love you to emphasize and to reinforce the connection to love, which is of course the essence of the heart. So I usually like to say, I love you to my own heart, to my innocence, to the one I am. And that really helps me to stay connected and loving this heart. So what have you got to say about this, Annette?
Well, it's so beautiful what the two of you are saying in the meditation we just did. I feel there's really not much to add, but let me add a very practical and maybe silly sounding thought. When I have trouble to be in my heart, I have learned all I have to do is switch my attention from the fear to something I love. And I have a dog who I love. And the moment I think of my dog, I'm in my heart. And it's even more so than if I think of any person, because often with people we have interpersonal things that we might not even be aware of. So here is my practical suggestion. Think of your pet, and boom, the heart opens. And then go from there.
Oh, that's awesome. All right, I've got a question. Ramya, what is one of the lessons that you have learned throughout your life that you think it's really valuable to share?
It's funny that it kind of connects to what we were just talking about. One of the most important lessons, and the one I keep on practicing, is self-love and self-care. So one of the ways I do that is by doing the I love yous to my own heart, and also on a daily basis, just seeing what is needed to love this one, to care for this one. So that is the most important lesson I would say I've learned, and I'm practicing, and I will practice that to the end of my days. And yeah, so what about you, Annette? What is this question for you?
Yeah, that's beautiful what you're saying, because certainly that is a practice that is really important, I would say, for everyone, and I have as well. The other practice I keep coming back to again and again is gratitude, really. And all that is for me gratitude is really just feeling into something that I feel I get inspired by. And there's always something around me, right? Of course, gratitude lives inside. We may not even have to search for anything, but sometimes it's easier. And when I only think about this glass of water here right next to me, and that I have water to drink, how fortunate I am. I can feel that warmth in my heart. And that is my lesson, really, that I need to practice creating that within myself so that I can then find it reflected in the world around me.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
What would you say?
Well, for me, the biggest lesson that I've learned is to trust yourself, to trust myself. And I think sometimes you have to live a while to really learn that and to reap the benefits of knowing it. But I also was reading somewhere the other day about the idea that most of us try to get better at the things that we're already not good at, the things that aren't our strengths, and that instead we could look at life as in terms of really developing the things we're really good at. So to trust yourself and to know yourself and to have trust in the things that you're good at and to just feed them with your love. That's the biggest thing that I've learned.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful. So I'm also having a question, and it's a question from, let me see, I need to find it. Was it here? So what I am giving this question to you, Annette. What daily practice is, in your opinion, the most effective in opening up and balancing feminine and masculine energy? I tend to produce too many masculine energies in my everyday life to feel really feminine on a day-to-day basis. Even though my friends would describe me as a feminine woman, I don't always feel so feminine myself. This question is from a sister in Norway.
That's a wonderful question. Yes. For me, I feel this is connected to the in and out of the breath. Of course, I'm a singer, so I notice that a lot. It's like receiving and giving, and each side has to be honored, right? The more we breathe out, the more space there is for the fresh breath to come in. And we can then take a deeper breath. And then when we have a wonderful deep breath, we can let it out again. And that's how I experience the feminine and the masculine. And so I often take, even if it's just a short moment, a minute or two, to experience my breath in and out, and to think about giving and receiving. And as I allow myself to feel those qualities and to enjoy them, I feel I am equally strengthening that feminine and the masculine availability to respond to life that we each have, men and women. Kim, what is your experience with that?
Oh, that was wonderful. Well, I think that, of course, each one of us is a balance of male and female energies, and the balance is different in each one of us. So really the key is to find the way that works best for you, that's the most natural. And I think that's what's a challenge for all of us. And in addition to that, I think it's not even so much about how much of these energies you have, what balance that they're in, but instead, are you letting them flow in a healthy way or a not healthy way? And that can be the challenge. So what helps me every morning, I connect to the energies in my main chakras, and I call in guardian energies, angels, and different energies to help me in each one of these energy centers. And I also ground each one into the earth. And together they help balance me. And then the next thing I do is I just pay attention to how I'm feeling and how right I'm feeling. So that would probably be my best suggestion, to just notice how right it feels within you and use that as your guide. How about you, Ramya? What do you think about this?
Yeah, I think that I'd like to just say something about the masculine, because in many of my women rooms, we we do a lot of what we call embodied feminine practices, and we spend a lot of time connecting with the bodies, with the touch, in different ways. But I just want to say something about the masculine that sometimes kind of slips, and that is to honor this masculine, that the masculine is such a beautiful force. And like you said, Kim, that sometimes, you know, the masculine needs to be, you know, in charge and more in action, and the feminine will support that. And sometimes the feminine needs to move more in, and this all depends on who we are and what we are. So I just want to say that about the masculine, just honoring it. And then again, you know, to balance myself, I was also very much in tune with your answer, Annette, because I see also like the breath for me on a daily basis, the yin, the feminine being breathed in and the masculine going out. I use that a lot as a way to balance these energies and balance myself. And then there is this with the feminine, you know, that she, in my life, she really needed some attention. And that came really through the body and through these gatherings that I start to create, women's circles I start to create, but also for myself, just to take care of this body. I find that is the way I connect very much with the feminine. So that is what I do a lot. Well, I do it also on a daily basis, like aligning my body, breathing into the body, and creating different ways to relax and soften within, which is the feminine quality for me. So yeah, that's what I had to say right now. So
that's wonderful. So what would you say, Nicky, should we look for another question? Do we have time?
Thank you for asking. I was on mute, sorry. Yeah, actually, good that you said it. Maybe if you want to, if there's any last thing that you would like to share with everyone on this call, maybe that's something nice to finish with for all of you. And if not, if nothing pops up, you can also just ask one last question from the list if you want.
Oh, what a cute doggy. See?
She wanted to join us.
There's one question that somebody sent in here that I really think is a great question, and that is, how do you turn your passion into a full-time profession? And I guess, Kim, I'm asking you first. How do you turn your passion into a full-time profession?
I think it's a process, and I think sometimes we get scared because we think that we need to jump in all at once and stop whatever we're doing, but it's a process. So once you begin to take your passion and what you love seriously, then you can follow your intuition, take what actions you're inspired to take at each step of the way, and then watch it grow. And over time it will grow, but it is a process. So whatever else you need to do to support yourself while you're kind of transitioning into maybe earning a living from what you love, it's important to do that so that you're supported all along the way. How about you, Ramya? What's been your experience with this?
Yeah, it's so funny when I was thinking about or feeling this question with because I never felt that there was no question of what I was supposed to share, and I very early started to go just follow my passion, and that was I wanted to be with people and create an environment where people would heal and love and awaken to who they really are. So I just somehow life presented me with these possibilities, and I agree with you, Kim, that it's a process and that it takes dedication and time. But it was just like the moment I kind of, and not even took a conscious decision, but just life unfolding, it just kept serving me with the possibilities, finding also, because I think one thing is to have a passion and you wanna do that as your profession, but I also had to learn. I went to people who were doing these things that I wanted to do, and I learned from them. And spent a lot of time, and I still love to learn. So I think it's about dedication and focus and following that passion, that longing, and it will happen. It will unfold.
That was so beautiful to listen to all of you.
Oh, I'm back to Annette.
Oh,
You have to tell us. It was your question.
I really, I feel you both nailed it, so to speak. Absolutely. And the only thing I want to add is that for me, the profession is something that I do because, like Kim said, it's about something that I'm good at and that I can offer to others. And so I feel it has something to do with me wanting to hand this on, this passion of mine, making it available for others, this passion of mine. And that really motivates me, so that I feel, oh yeah, you have a question? Well, no problem. Here, I can tell you this. I hope that will be of help to you. And that has really been motivating for me to always feel, yes, here, this is what I have to offer. And Ramya, just as you said, then in that process, obviously learning, gaining tools, so that what I have to offer really is worth what I want to give. That has been my experience.
All right, now we're going to continue after this beautiful session with a guided meditation by Kim Wilburn. So Kim, we're looking forward to your meditation.
All righty. Well, right now I'd like to invite you to take a deep breath and fully enter into the sacred space that we have been creating here together. So if you're in a safe place to do so, go ahead and close your eyes and begin to relax. Feel into your heart space. And as you do, feel the all-loving presence of the Divine Feminine there within your heart. Feel her restoring and renewing your heart, and allow yourself to feel fully safe. Now feel this divine feminine energy of safety spread into every part of your being. Feel it filling your entire body, flowing through your feet and beaming down into the center of the earth. At the center of the earth, feel the presence of a huge glowing crystal filled with positive energy and love for you. See the beam of divine feminine energy flow down into the crystal, harmonize with the energy there, and beam straight back up into you. Feel this beautiful energy flow up through the soles of your feet, into your knees, up into your hips, your chest, your arms, your throat, and your head. Feel it filling your heart and spreading out all around you. And now feel it spread out to encompass the whole world. See the whole planet held in this space of safety. Feel the love from your own heart flow out and take shape around you. See yourself creating more and more of what you love in your life. And feel the earth's love supporting you in bringing your divine gifts into physical form. Feel yourself become centered. Feel yourself become grounded. Feel yourself become balanced. And feel yourself become whole. Now come back to your own heart. And from that heart space, open to connect with the Divine Feminine in her many forms. She who is here to help you, she who loves you, and she who knows who you truly are. Stand inside the presence of the Great Mother and allow yourself to be fully supported from now on. And back to you, Nicky.
Thank you, Kim. That was beautiful. And now we're all relaxed and going on to our second round of questions and answers. So far, we do not have any live questions. Just checking once more. But we have many questions that were sent in beforehand, so we could just continue answering those questions. And in the meantime, for everyone on this call, if you have any questions that you would like these three women to answer, now is the time. So feel free to just write them in the chat on the right-hand side. So let me see. If you want to, I can ask the first question and then you continue, or do you want to continue in the same format? Because actually, it was really nice the way you did it. Does that feel okay for you?
Yeah, we can do that, absolutely.
Okay, great. So, yeah, okay. So then I will let you, and if there comes a live question, I will just, and after the round, I will let you know and jump in with the question. All right, over to you.
Yeah, so here I'm actually seeing this little note from Eva who says she has to bring her kids to bed and would like to know if this hangout is available later. So Nicky, that's something you may want to answer.
Yes, yes, just did. Thank you.
Good, wonderful. I'm sure it's.
We have a question. Yeah, we have a question. That's great. We have a question by Eileen, and her question is, what if I don't know what my calling, my talents are? So any of you who feels called to answer, feel free to answer.
Well, what if you don't know what your calling is? Then I would really follow the advice that Kim was giving earlier, which is, what do you feel you're good at? There's always something that we're naturally good at. We may not even notice it because it comes so natural to us. Feeling into that and then listening to that and then enjoying that. And beginning to notice how we bring that into the world, how we connect to other people through that way in which something comes naturally to us, can then strengthen your sense of what it is that you feel is valuable to you. Because what brings you joy when you connect in that way will feed that knowledge. So I would say listen to what brings you joy.
Thank you, Annette. Is there any, do any of you still want to add something? Ramya.
I wanted to say that's beautiful, Annette. I love what you said. And also, I just want to remind the people who are asking this question, because there are many of us asking this question, that the answer is within. You definitely have the answers within you. So if you just begin asking, knowing that you will receive the answer, and then paying attention to the things you're inspired by, then it will begin to unfold for you. So to know the answers are there, and then to just begin to ask them and to tune in is really helpful.
Thank you, Kim. Ramya, is there something you would still like to add?
No, I think that both Annette and Kim answered beautifully. I totally agree.
That's beautiful. So no new questions. So if you want to, we can just continue with the questions that we have already.
Where were we? Whose turn is it? I forget.
I also forget. If not, we can just start with Annette again, maybe. If that's okay, just alphabetical.
Sure. So there is here a question that I find interesting. In case you have children, how do you combine being a mother with being an entrepreneur?
My children are grown, and I didn't make a full-time living doing what I do until they were grown. So I think I'll pass that on. Ramya, do you have an answer for that?
Yeah, I have the experience of being, I got pregnant pretty much when I started to share my mission or my work. So I feel almost like my son that later he was my son, but he was kind of here to tell, go for it. You have something to share, and I want you to do that. And he has been part very much of this whole journey, being mother, entrepreneur, and I think that has supported him a lot in he's now 24, and he has a lot of strength in living his life, creating his life, and I think that is a lot what, for me, I couldn't stop this, I just shared, of course, incorporating being a mother to a small child. I was there with him, for the first couple of years, really close, but eventually, this started to become, this longing to share became so big. So I had very good help, and I learned really through that process to ask also for help. And just today I thought of it when I was walking in nature. I thought of this wonderful woman that came in. Apart from his own grandmother, I also had a woman who came in as his kind of extra grandmother, and how we exchanged. I gave her massage, and she would support me in the evening, for example, when I had evening workshops, and that was such a gift for me, but also for my son. So for me, it sometimes was a struggle, I must admit, also because when my work started to take me on travels, I would have to say no sometimes, of course, because I just couldn't travel when my son was too small. But I think we managed very well together, and that he was really a part of the journey with me in that. Yeah. And Annette, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I find this is a really hot issue for so many women. And it certainly was very challenging for me when my children were smaller. They're also grown up now. But I feel at this point that for us women in our Western culture, we just need to demand more. That it is a natural thing for an entrepreneur to be a mother, because what are you as an entrepreneur actually, if not a mother to your project, a mother to the people you work with, a mother to the earth who you want to gift with your gifts, right? So I feel to compartmentalize the way we are taught we ought to be is maybe not the only way to go. Maybe we just need to bring the children with us, and they just have to be there for some time while we do our work. Or, you know, maybe we just need to also be more outspoken in the help we need, and just demand, I need help, I want to do this, I want for the community to support me. And so that would be my encouragement to all young women. Bring your children and demand help. When you have an employer, demand help that this part of your life gets integrated. And when you do your own work, demand support from others. And it actually might end up being the most beautiful experience because people all want to help, right? So I think you will bring a lot of happiness to other people by asking them to contribute in whatever way and fashion is possible.
Thank you, Annette. We have just in time one last question coming up in the chats from Carol. I experience fear to come out in the world with my passion, with what I want to share. I have been the friendly little girl with no special uniqueness. What practice can I do to become stronger in who I am and overcome this fear for standing out in the world?
I can, yeah, Kim, go ahead.
No, you please go ahead.
No, I just, for me, I used to have a lot of fear, so I'm very acquainted with that. I had this longing, this passion, I had something to share, but I was so scared. And what I decided to do was to act in spite of the fear, share in spite of the fear. But you should have seen me in the very beginning. If somebody would talk to me like an hour before I had to present a workshop or something, I was white. I couldn't speak. I was really scared. And at that time I was sharing a lot I started off as a dance therapist and sharing through dance. And I had to just go into the room, people were coming, and I would put 2 songs on just for people to dance and move, and that would help me to move into my own body, and suddenly I could share. So I think the embracing of this fear and also being very loving with that fear helped me. Today, there is one more thing that I'd like to add, because this disappeared just by doing it. The fear somehow magically disappeared, and I haven't felt that for many years. I had some fear coming up with this call because this is my first time on a live video call, and I was like, oh, this hasn't been here for so many years. And today I was, just taking some time. And this, I think, is a great way to at least, just to invite that little scared, I see her like a little girl, little scared girl, invite her into your heart and tell her the exact words that she needs to hear from you. So in my case, I was just being with her, and you are safe now, and it's okay, and I'm here for you. Things like that, really helps. So that's what I want to share. Is anybody else? Kim, you had something.
Oh, I really like what you said, Ramya. Well, I think that that thing that each one of us does, whatever it is, that thing that you know, that you love, that's kind of your gift to give to the world, I think of it as a superpower that you have. And it's got an energy of its own, and it's meant to come into the world and to gift the world with its energy. So if you can kind of tap into that and take yourself out of the way a little bit and allow that energy to carry you forward, then I think it really helps and it supports you in bringing that gift to the world. How about you, Annette?
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. And of course, fear. I mean, I think we all feel that a million times a day even. And what really helps me is to go into a playful space and to just let myself know that really all I want to do is to find out what would happen if I just made this little step. And it's that curiosity that I see in children. They just go for it a little bit and they fall and then they get up and then they try again, and it's that sort of innocent curiosity. When I go to that place, then I suddenly feel, oh, whatever, I just want to have a nice time right now, and let me just see. And then I go with that, and usually that helps me to go beyond the fear, because then the fear feels like, okay, all right, it's fine. I don't really need to be noticed so much anymore. That is sort of my inner process to let me just smell, let me just feel, let me just see, and to go and make very small steps. And that would be my suggestion.
Thank you, Annette. Great, beautiful answers. We have one more question that came rolling in, so I'll just read it. It comes from Stephanie, and she writes, "Thank you for sharing your answers. My question is about alignment. I know I am whole and always aligned inside, yet sometimes it itches with the outside. An example is my spine with scoliosis, or I simply don't feel aligned with my health or family. Could you talk about the process of getting aligned, and accepting in wholeness what is? How much effort is needed, and how much happens naturally? Thank you for your answers." I'm automatically looking at Annette because of the...
Yeah, the healing through alignment. I so can relate to that question. And what I feel about that's just a beautiful question, because so often we feel out of alignment and then suddenly we feel in alignment again. And how can we move back and forth? When I feel out of alignment, really, I simply bring compassion to that feeling of being out of alignment. And yeah, just the way I would speak to somebody else or feel for somebody else, I would feel, oh, I'm so sorry for you. You're out of alignment. Don't worry. Don't worry. Just feel your spine and then feel your very unique alignment, because alignment is not a straight thing. Alignment is unique for each of us, whatever that means to you. So that is what I use also as a tool, to just go to my own spine and just say, oh, I can really feel for you. And that immediately brings me back in, and then I can go from there. What do you think, Kim? You want
I think that was perfect. That was perfect.
Great. Ramya, would you want to add anything, or yeah?
I agree. It was perfect. Thank you, Annette.
Great. Then we have time for one last question that came in. I think it comes from Vicky, and the question is, I think that as women we take on a lot and we don't always show self-compassion. So are there any good exercises or tips to remind us to stop and breathe and show self-compassion?
Well, I think you already nailed it, Vicky, by this, just stop and breathe and give yourself self-compassion or self-love. Like I mentioned before, this is one of my main ways how I take care of myself. And I think for me, this was something that was so difficult also in the beginning, just to love this one, to make her #1 priority in my own life. I even was joking about it, that I need a T-shirt where it said "me first." I was so we talked about alignment, but I was out of alignment to care for this one and to take her into my arms and to love her on a daily basis. So for me, it was like just even to take a glass of water in the right moment, to take a breath when I needed it. So simple things. And the one that I just shared also, with just giving the words "I love you" to yourself on a daily basis. When you look at yourself in the mirror, "I love you, sweet one." You're the most amazing person and most precious one in my life. You know, things like that, that complimenting yourself, giving yourself on a daily basis this love. And for me, it took some time, but it was needed. It was so needed. And I'm so grateful for the mentors that I've had on that path of self-love and self-care. So, but Vicky, you already nailed it with the breath, stopping breath, and let the breath be like loving nectar to yourself. Sometimes I guide it like this, you know, let every in-breath be like a loving caress on the inside, and every out-breath just surrendering and relaxing. Thank you for giving us this question. Does anyone else want to say something? Kim or Annette?
Thank you. This was beautiful.
It was. I just want to say I really resonate with the idea of telling yourself that you love yourself. And I've kind of adapted something from EFT, saying to myself just every time I think of it, I love and accept myself completely. And it really does begin to make a difference. And when I go to sleep at night, kind of surrounding myself with beautiful pink energy and then saying that as I go to sleep. And when I wake up in the middle of the night sometimes, saying it again. So making it a constant thing that kind of runs in the background really does make a difference. So I suggest that to everybody. And hi, Vicky.
Great. This was and is so beautiful. It's a shame that the time is over.
No!
You continue the whole night. Or day in the US.
The energy is wonderful. And I feel all the women, you know, just reading some comments on the chat and just feeling you all. It's wonderful. But anyway, Nikita, you were trying to say something.
It was beautiful, but I feel, unfortunately, the time is ending, and I don't know. Of course, we could go on forever, but yeah, of course. Day is starting in the US, and we all have our appointments, so I guess it's time to leave. And we're going to have, we do have one more really great thing to look forward to, which is Annette's beautiful song meditation. So I'm now going to hand over to Annette.
Yes, thank you, Nikki. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Ramya. Thank you, all the listeners, and your inspiration, which inspires us. I'll make it very short and sweet. I would like to suggest I will do just a little song meditation for a minute even. Take one wish that you have right now that you want to get out of this call, and while I sing, very gently hum, feel yourself vibrating with your wish and feel already how that wish is manifesting, beginning by the very vibration that it carries, and know within your heart that it will come true when you follow that vibration. Here we go. Hayya Hayya-yam, 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 hey, yeah. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Annette. That was beautiful. All right. Now, are there any last words, or shall we all wave goodbye together?
Just thank you.
Bye, goodbye, thank you.
Gratitude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.